Good morning. What up? Good afternoon. Good evening from wherever you are.
Whatever time of the day you're checking us out. Doesn't matter.
The freedomringshow.com. We are back.
We're also on Facebook at The Freedom Ring. Obviously, if you're watching the video, it's on Rumble at The Freedom Ring. Later on, we'll be on YouTube and Bitchute. Let's see. We also have email, freedomring@gmail.com. When we first originally got together to discuss this show, we were like, what's our mission? What's our goal? And it was because of how twisted the world and how dark the times are, especially if you're watching the mainstream media. Our personal mission, Bill and myself, we wanted to have a positive effect. I'm always going to have an element of sarcasm it's part of my DNA, but as I approach 51, it's kind of like, I don't know. I want the rest of, if we're going to consider this an extension of our radio careers, I want to have a positive impact on people's lives. It's just kind of where I'm at now. Had enough fun with all the TNA jokes throughout the rock radio career, but we agreed that we want to make a positive impact, and we want to help bring people back together. Make sure that God is first and foremost in our show. He's the one that we both believe, brought us together.
Exactly, yeah. No doubt.
I mean, the way we met was just...
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't. Yeah. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
And it's a cool weird, and some other day we'll get into that if you haven't already heard the story. But we wanted to start off the show with like something positive. And the last couple of days we really haven't, because of the headlines in the news, especially the ones that we're focusing on. It's nothing positive really is going on right now. We're hoping the result of what's going on behind the scenes,
something will break,
is going to be hugely positive.
Yeah.
And that's why I like whenever somebody interviews Donald Trump and he never really answers the question, are you going to run in 2024? You're going to like what's coming.
The best is yet to come.
Right. And he never says yes or no, and he never alludes to a year, a date of any sort. He just acknowledges you're really going to like what's about to happen.
You know what? We had talked the other day about that, and I wondered if you look at this spiritually, I don't know if this happened or didn't happen or whatever, but I can envision Jesus visiting the Alliance, or I mean, this sounds crazy, but literally visiting the Alliance, maybe not in flesh, just whatever, communicating and saying, this is what I want you to do.
I think he communicates with us daily.
Yeah, but I'm like on a stage, he comes down
like
from
physically?
There. No, I'm just joking.
That's kind of like what you said when we first physically met.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I saw. Honey, Matt's here, and I think it's him.
You heard the angel sing, right?
No,
but I just wondered if this whole thing, of course it is on God's time, but if it really is on God's time, because we're all like, well, he said it was going to happen Thursday, and it didn't happen.
Right.
And then you think, everybody's saying Trump's going to come back. Well, he hasn't come back. Oh, I just give up.
Yeah.
Well, it's God's timing.
It's funny that you say that, because God's timing is what... See, I go through social media lately, and I click on all these inspirational sayings that, I really don't care to see the pictures of you and your family on vacation, rubbing in my face that I'm not in Florida right now on spring break. What I'm actually going through is all these inspiration, and the more I click on them, obviously it detects the algorithm, and I get more and more and more and more and more, and I really dig it. Today's, I stumbled on something that said, you're not going to master the rest of your life in one day. Just relax, master the day, then just keep doing that. And it's like, you got to get out of your own way and trust that he's going to bring who and what is needed in your life when you're ready to have it. And I'm actually practicing that right now. I've always been kind of trying to keep up with the Joneses with materialistic things up until recently. And I looked back at my, conversations with my wife and I. we know people that are extremely wealthy that are miserable.
What's their number? Let me get my cell phone here.
And then I know people that have next to nothing that are extremely happy.
Yeah.
And
that's because all these things don't bring you happiness.
No, they don't.
You know, enjoying your life is what brings you happiness.
And that's where I'm kind of getting to right now. I mean, physically in my life, I'm getting to a point where I've had a bunch of stuff in the past, and I'm still spinning my wheels. And I think what the real happiness in this whole radio career, if I had to just focus on one element of my life, is actually what we're doing right now. I haven't had joy behind a microphone because of corporate radio in a lot of years. And what we're doing, which is why one of the reasons we went with the name Freedom Ring for this show, is we're free to talk about what we want. When it comes to your radio station, ClassX radio network, he plays what he wants.
I do what I want.
There's no studies or research platform. Blah, 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 blah.
It's kind of like what
You just love music and you play the music.
Yeah, and it's kind of like when you're at home and you want to hear some music. Well, you go pull out the album that you want to listen to, right?
No, I just want to hear the same 75 songs over and over and over and over.
That's true. You've been programmed. We got a deprogram.
This is what we are supposed to listen to.
Ain't that the truth?
Right.
Oh, my God.
So this is this whole platform is one of the next steps for me personally of getting back to what this is saying. You're not supposed to master the rest of your life in one day. Just relax, master the day, enjoy what's here, and when you're ready for it, he's going to bring it to you. He's going to put it in your lap.
Exactly. Just live your life. You talked about having all these things, and being in nonprofit radio that I've been in, there's no money in it, so you learn to kind of live without all those things. And after doing this for 10, 15 years, I'm like, you make the adjustment. Mm-hmm. And thank God I've got a house and we've got cars, and
it's all you need.
That's all you need, and each other, each other, mm-hmm. And some Mexican food. Got to have that. In your case, Italian, right?
A lot of Italian. I'm not picky at all. I love food. If it's edible, I'll eat it.
You'll eat it.
Yeah. And then we lead with that positive message, and we go right into the headlines.
Negative.
And so it's right back to this. Yeah. We're trying to keep that out of the show, but it's...
it creeps back because that's what reality is in our lives right now. So if you notice a little different arrangement on the screen too, we decided one of the things that we're lacking is, when we first met, we sat here face to face and we talked, and we had some really great, incredible conversation,
which went into this whole show.
Yeah,
and then the first week you were facing away. I'm like, hey,
I turned away.
I'm over here.
Kind of like what you do with your wife.
Yeah.
No, I'm turning this way.
Right.
No,
right. Honey, I didn't say that. I know she's listening. Why you got to dig me a hole, man?
You're digging your own hole.
No, you said it.
I was talking about my wife. My wife.
Oh, okay.
So
sure you were.
You see what he said, right?
Say, what did you used to sell used cars or what? BS, man.
Well, that's my name, Bill Spry.
All right. So on to the headlines. Basically, what the mainstream media did, because we have a huge story that broke yesterday. I watched ABC's World, and again, my wife, I asked her a few weeks ago, I go, why do you watch The View? That's all you do is curse at the screen when I need to know what the competition is saying.
She's a strong woman to do that, I'll tell you.
I got to leave. I got to get outside the house.
I can't take it, yeah.
And then Whoopi starts going on, well, let me tell you something. Yeah, that ain't the way. Whatever. But ABC's World News tonight with David Muir. I jotted down in order the stories he covered. The Texas tornado, obviously, another big story. Not going to diss that one. Supreme Court Justice confrontation hearings, or the confirmation hearings. Confrontation, I guess that.
Well, it kind of is.
And how she avoided answering certain questions, and how she was kind of light on certain crimes and really twisted crimes.
Yes.
And when she was asked about it, she avoided the whole
Yeah.
That was a little odd. There is I'm going to hack this up, Mariupol, one of the cities over in Ukraine, reduced to ashes. Obviously, that's got to be covered. Biden at the NATO meeting, where I'm sure he's going to have a huge impact. You know, how he takes control of a room.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So much energy.
Oh, yeah. And what do you want to say? Well, which reminded me, when they were covering that story, I had seen some footage of Trump when he had met with Vladimir Putin at one point. And you talk about polar opposites, man. He extended they shook hands, and Trump took control by
pulled him right. Yeah,
he's like, "How you doing?" Rah! Like a man shakes his hand, and then you've got Obama and Biden going, "Yeah," and they
didn't want to shake Biden's hand.
World leaders don't shake their hands like this.
No.
Hi. Well, look they're taking pictures of us. Smile. Trump didn't give a damn.
No. No.
I got to get back to this message. Sorry, God. I'm already off track, man. I need you.
Please come back in this room.
Please guide us, man. I'm dead serious, actually. So you got Biden at the NATO meeting. You've got Omicron, the subvariant. And Fauci is predicting that it should arrive in the United States later this week, like it's being delivered by FedEx.
Well, it kind of is. Maybe it's UPS.
Throw it out to everyone here. You get Omicron. You get a new variant. You get a new variant.
Oh, and here's your mask. Put it on.
Right, because that works. The Chinese airliner, was it the 737? 747?
Yeah, 737, yeah.
I mean, I'm not downplaying any of these stories, but the story that I'm about to lead with, how did that get no mention?
China, you mean the plane?
No, this story.
Oh.
The story that we're going into right now. Mike Lindell yesterday revealed everything about the 2020 election, and we're going to go through a lot of the bulk of it, but you can post it, or you can we've got it posted at our Facebook page right now.
Just don't say that F word to trigger YouTube. The FRAUD word. Don't say that. It'll trigger them.
We can spell it.
Yeah, we can spell it slowly.
Because the fact checkers can't spell. So you got Mike Lindell revealed everything about the 2020 election and how corrupt it was. Let's see. Let's start. The multiple databases in the voting system show ballot and ballot batch records were moved and changed, breaking the chain of evidence, leaving the true vote count unknown. Let's see. This makes the vote count in Mesa County's voting system impossible to authenticate or prove accurate. The report goes on to explain that this illegal activity happened in two different elections. I can only assume one of them was the 2020 presidential. They don't say right in what I'm holding what the second one was. So that's just because it's not in what I have in my hand, but I'm sure it's mentioned elsewhere in this report. The report goes on to explain two different elections, and there is no possible way, they say, that this manipulation was an accident, regardless of who you voted for. Whether it was Trump or Biden, you should still want all of this. You should demand a recount and it be rectified. We're talking about the leader of the free world here.
Exactly.
So even if it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, you should want this report to come. And if you voted for Biden, have it come out so you can shut the rest of us up.
It should be decertified. I mean, we've heard enough.
Well, you and I think it should be decertified, but if it's proven to be legit, shut us up.
Yeah. Prove us wrong.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Exactly. That's like human nature. Right.
The first forensic report showed at least 29,000 election records had been deleted at the direction of Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. I don't know how Colorado and Mesa, Arizona. Am I missing something here?
Mesa County. That may be. Forgive us. I thought the story was on Colorado, but Mesa.
Denver, Colorado, March 21st. Am I just thinking Mesa, Arizona? That's my bad.
Yeah, could be. Mesa County.
It's an easy mistake.
Yeah.
Easy. I'm a human being. I make mistakes every day. A lot of them. The first forensic report showed at least 29,000 election records had been deleted at the direction of Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. The second report exposed numerous system vulnerabilities, including firewall and security rules that would allow any computer in the world to connect to the voting system server. What? So you could have logged in?
I was just thinking the same thing.
36 separate wireless networking devices in the voting system.
36
separate wireless networking devices were in the system. Between the wireless devices and insecure configuration and the destroyed election records, the voting system could have been undetectably connected to the unauthorized devices, networks, and the internet directly or indirectly. In the third report, there's undeniable evidence that the vote counts were changed and manipulated. Again, regardless of who you voted for, beyond this effed up report, we're talking the President of the United States, the leader of the free world.
Exactly.
According to systems testing expert Colonel Sean Smith, retired from the U.S. Air Force, quote, in contrast to voting system testing lab personnel who claim no specialized knowledge or background in cybersecurity, the computer experts who authored the Mesa 3 report have 80 years of combined experience and expertise, including degrees in computer science and mathematics, defense and national security experience, and are making all evidence available to the public and other researchers.
You want me to believe that over the Secretary of State? I mean, come on, man.
Right.
But that's kind of like, isn't that what we've been doing? Why isn't people in the streets over these kind of things?
You know, and so much mud, or I'm sorry, let me be hip. So much shade is being thrown at Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
And you need to step back and realize this guy has a net worth of between $50 and $75 million. He doesn't need to be doing this.
He's a patriot.
He could be in the Caribbean on a yacht, just enjoying the hell out of life.
Wrapped in his...
But no, he's doing... Doesn't that... All right, you voted for Biden. You hate Mike Lindell and Trump and everything that the right stands for. Get it. Doesn't at least that trigger something? The dude doesn't have to be doing any of this. He's got more money to... I mean, he could cash it in right now and just say, later.
Same as Trump running for president.
Right.
You know, they don't need it.
Right.
But they love this country.
The fact that he donated his presidential salary to charity, I love that. It's just a smack in the... is, I was going to say smack in the left's face. It's career politician's face.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same. Left, right, it doesn't matter. It's one system. It's all organized crime.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter on what side of the street you're on. It's all, and it's being proven right now. But again, between $50 and $75 million this guy's worth, and this is what he's occupying his time with. If you had that money, what would you be doing? I'd be in the Caribbean.
And look at all the money that he's lost by them pulling his products off the shelves.
Exactly. And he's still going at it.
Yeah.
Doesn't that say something?
I love the guy.
The evidence of destroyed election records, unauthorized software installation, multiple manipulated vote counts, databases, and unmonitorable wireless networking equipment exposes numerous federal and state crime violations, including civil rights violations. President Biden, your thoughts on these findings? I scream. I scream.
For ice cream.
You scream. We all scream for... You know the thing. Sorry. Trying to get back on, man. You made me sarcastic.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying to read it, but a little screw loose here.
So now you're blaming God.
I've always been like this. You made me. I'm trying, though. All right. Don't try to fix the world in one day. I ain't perfect. I've had a schlep all my life, man. All right, where was I? The public is calling for immediate criminal investigations by both federal and state law enforcement. Again, this report can be found at our Facebook page, which is, I don't have it in front of us. Man, we got so many addresses. It's
Facebook. Just search the Freedom Ring.
Facebook at the Freedom Ring. Thank you, because that was difficult.
Or you could go to freedomringshow.com, and we've got some links on there.
I just got one right, and you're going to throw them all at me again?
I'm going to throw them at you, buddy.
In a desperate attempt to cover up evidence in numerous serious crimes, Griswold introduced a bill to the Colorado Senate that, among other egregious attempts to seize election power we're almost done with this, by the way, to seize election power from local election officials and leaves oversight of Colorado elections solely in the hands of Secretary of State Griswold. That's comforting. In fact, the bill makes it a crime for election officials to criticize how the state runs elections and bans public audits of elections. So it's either their way,
or you're imprisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like freedom to you, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Maybe in another country.
The Founding Fathers had all of that in mind when they wrote that thing. You know, the thing.
We don't need to talk about that thing.
Yeah.
It's not important. Yeah. Get rid of it.
Cursive. Let's stop teaching cursive so they can't read that in the future.
Yeah.
I was told that was actually one of the reasons cursive is no longer being taught in public schools. Again,
really?
This just should be a conspiracy theory that you're on. But it makes sense, doesn't it?
Total.
They're not really teaching cursive.
I didn't even know that.
And that's something I heard.
Wow.
So in the future, 80, 90, 100 years from now, they can't read that. Something to ponder. In a separate legal case, Secretary of State...
They'll translate it into print,
right,
and it'll say different things, just like what they did to the Bible.
Exactly, right.
Thou shalt steal.
You shall do everythingeth that I say. In a separate legal case, Secretary of State Griswold is suing the Elbert County clerk and recorder in a desperate attempt to seize hard drives containing Elbert County election record backups. Once they are forensically analyzed, it's highly likely that the same evidence of Griswold's illegal conduct in Mesa County will be found in Elbert County. So basically what happened there probably happened there. State law enforcement officials are expected to demand access to those backups in support of a thorough criminal investigation. Again, you read this report for yourself, share it. It's posted at Facebook at The Freedom Ring. And sadly, I know people that are more passionate about instant replay in football games than they are about this. Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
A meaningless football game. And I love football. I love watching my Packer games. I love watching baseball games. But when it comes to the leader of the free world and freedom and everything...
Your children's future.
Yeah, my grandchildren's future.
Yeah. Humanity.
How can you not want to at least investigate this?
I know.
Shut up! March Madness is on! Look at my brackets! Ugh. I need you, man. I need you. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis yesterday he issued a proclamation declaring Sarasota native and Olympic silver medalist Emma Wyant the real winner.
Isn't this awesome?
I love this dude. Of the 500-yard freestyle event at the Women's Swimming and Diving Championships last Thursday.
I think it's what the vast majority of Americans have been thinking, but don't want to say.
Wyant finished second to Leah Thomas, the one that identifies as female and takes cross-sex hormones.
It's the thing.
Okay, we have to that was a reference to Biden. You're not calling Leah Thomas the thing.
Well,
maybe you are.
Well, maybe.
All right, focus on him.
Yeah.
Get over to that side of the room.
I need you.
But no, what DeSantis did on a serious note, that's all he said, quote, by allowing men to compete in women's sports, the NCAA is destroying opportunities for women. making a mockery of its championships and perpetuating a fraud. Oops. Wasn't regarding the other story, but I did say the word.
Oh.
Whoop, 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 whoop. YouTube police, pull them down. By the way, speaking of this, there's a meme that shows a guy on a motorcycle next to a bunch of cyclists in a marathon, and the motorcyclist is identifying as a bicyclist, setting cyclist world records. Have you seen it yet?
No,
I'll show it to you in a little bit. It's actually quite funny.
Well, this whole story is motivating women to stand up.
Yeah, and isn't this coming from the side that was all about women rising up and pro-women, and we need another woman in the Supreme Court? But by the way, this woman is a former dude.
Yeah. And now it's kill female sports.
Right, and it's just such a screwed up message.
It's so screwed up. And I'm encouraged by seeing ladies stand up and fight this kind of thing.
I love when ladies stand up.
Me too.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I didn't mean that. Didn't mean that. See, I'm never going to lose the sarcasm. I'm trying to be good.
No, you're not.
I'm trying to turn the leaf. I'm trying. I want this show to be a positive message. I want us to be an asset to people's lives. But there's just certain things
you just can't control.
I can't shake.
Drugs.
Let's see. Bill Barr. No. No. I'm sure there's somebody I went to high school with. Oh, I told you. No. No.
Yeah.
You're judging 17-year-old me, not 51-year-old me. Bill Barr said that Joe Biden lied to the American people about Hunter Biden's laptop and the big scandal when he was the candidate for president. TheBlaze.com says the comments are especially eyebrow-raising because Barr was Attorney General when the laptop scandal broke in October of 20, meaning that he was privy to information that was not made public, including why the FBI seized the infamous laptop from the Delaware computer repair shop in December of 19. He says the resurrection of the story last week will become a problem, quote unquote, for the White House. Another reason that Biden is, in my opinion, saying cyber attack is being planned by Russia. You got to put these pieces together, man. You got all this crap, whether it's the laptop, whether it's whatever happened to the all the ammunition stuff when we left Afghanistan. I'm looping all this stuff to everything that's going on right now, all the mud that is not working in the Biden administration's favor. It's all being spilt at once. And what Putin is doing over there in the Ukraine, I think it's going to be proven that he's not the evil SOB that the mainstream media is. Now, of course, we're going to be labeled conspiracy theories. Oh, he's one of them on the right again. What did he? He's only aimed at the biolabs, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's clearing out the Nazis. The Ukrainian military are a bunch of Nazis, and they're killing their own people. That's what's going on there.
But it's being sold as
we're saving the world. It's
no, it's being sold as Russia is just coming in and destroying.
Well, yeah.
So you got all that. That's what we're being sold here in the mainstream media. Everything that's there's so much mud that's being spilt right now that isn't it coincidental that a cyber attack is being planned? But how do you know what Russia's planning? And,
exactly.
And if and when it happens, Russia did it? Now I'm supposed to believe that Russia did it.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that told me that the cyber attack is being planned. Oh, and Russia's planning it.
And who doesn't want the communications about all these evil deeds to come out?
That should raise some eyebrows.
Exactly.
Today's Jackass of the Day award. This is given to us by the Daily Wire. I'm sorry, Candace Owens. She's not the jackass. She's actually she's triumphant in this story.
Yeah.
Candace Owens, who hosts the Daily Wire, tweeted earlier this week that the New York Times sent her a message asking where she got her ideas that, quote, Ukraine was a corrupt country, adding that such ideas are similar to those seen from Russian state media. Candace's response: I replied, informing them that I actually got my ideas from the New York Times. The same publication saying, where'd you get that information, is where she got it. And provided them with links to their past articles.
Yeah. Don't you love it? Don't you love it?
You can't write this.
No.
Where did you get that? From you.
Do they regret asking that question, do you think?
I don't think they have souls enough to regret anything.
Yeah.
You bury that story. That's the reason we're talking about it. And David Muir wasn't on ABC World News tonight.
Yeah.
Because then they're all part of the same scam. This is the last thing I have for today. The phrase crime family has been used a lot lately to describe the Bidens, the Clintons, and the Obamas. So I thought it'd be interesting to seek out a member of a real crime family. And I've been following this guy for a lot of years because he just has an interesting story. Michael Francis, he's I think properly you would say Michael Francesi. He was once a member of the Colombo crime family, one of the 5 mob families that run New York City and have for a long time. He says the Biden administration is a, quote, mafia democracy. This is a dude that was in the mafia, and he was pretty highly ranked.
Yeah.
The mafia democracy because they're operating under their own agenda and they're not expressing the will of the people. That is actually one of the definitions of the word mafia. And does that not fit what we're observing?
Yeah, it does fit.
And how he breaks it all down to make the comparison is definitely worth the view. Again, that we have posted on Facebook at The Freedom Ring. It's about a 35-minute video that he goes into detail about all the things that our current government is doing. And it wasn't being done prior to a year and a half ago. Well, actually, that's just me thinking. It was being done for a long time.
Yeah. We just didn't see it.
Trump just kind of said, hey, pause for 4 years.
Yeah.
You can get back to your corruptiveness when I'm done.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty interesting that an actual member of the mafia, the New York mob, is making this comparison, saying it ain't us you got to worry about. It's DC's.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's all I have.
Well, thank you guys.
Thanks for looking at me today. It was nice to share this conversation.
Yeah. The freedomring.com, freedomringshow.com.
Be good to each other today, all right? Do something good for somebody else.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
Later.